This is Gerald Brentz, and I'm here with the J-Don McCullough Show, the Plano Wildcats, and Coach McCullough. First game of the year last Friday night against Lakeview Centennial. Giant crowd from Plano, and got off to a great start with a big win.
Well, it was a great win, and I've had a lot of people remind me throughout the week that a win's a win. It wasn't really pretty. We had 4 turnovers in the game. Very first play from scrimmage, Lakeview went all the way, first play of the game, and so that was a little disappointing and discouraging. However, I was real proud of our players. They fought back, went into halftime 14-12, came back in the second half and scored 21 points and started to play a little bit better. We've got to do a better job of protecting the ball, and really, we gave up 2 big plays, the long run at the beginning of the game, and of course they got us on a fade route, which we felt like on their part it was pretty well executed.
You've got a pretty much the same team that you had last year, don't you? A lot of guys back, and last year you were extremely young, and you had a great run in the playoffs and everything, but a lot of those guys are back, aren't they?
Yeah, it's nice to have that experience. They've been in the fire before. Really, where there's a lot of new guys is probably out on the edge. Our receivers are a little bit, a lot of them didn't play last year, but we're real pleased with them, and some of our offensive linemen. But for the most part, if you look at our defense, Colin Brentz, our safety, Ben Lowers, Zach Lowers, Matt Johnson, our linebackers, they all played last year. Kent Bateman, another linebacker, he played some last year. Then, of course, we got Blair Burns at cornerback. He's an outstanding player. He played last year. And so we've got a lot of kids on the defensive side of the ball. And then, of course, on the front, you've got Arthur Skinner at defensive tackle, got Xavier Harbert playing defensive end. He was the 8-5A newcomer of the year on defense. But then there's some other guys that we're going to put in there that are pretty good football players too. And the offensive side of the ball, the biggest thing for us is we have our quarterback back. Connor really came on last year at the end of the game and end of the year and did real well against McKinney Boyd. Jesuit had a great second half against Duncanville. We were down 17-0 at halftime, and he brought us back 28 unanswered points in the second half, and then against Trinity, just had an outstanding game, 350 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. And so it's great to have our leader back as a quarterback going into this year, which to me it just gives our team a lot of confidence. On the offensive line, we got Lee Skinner coming back. He was all district. Also, Clayton Bennett, he was at strong tackle last year. We're moving him to center. And then we've got some younger, big guys that we're going to put in there in those other positions. And then at running back, we've got 2 guys that are pretty good, Murat Kuzu and Kevin Merrill, number 19. Murat will be a senior, number 5. And he's just very athletic. We like to put him in a lot of different places. And then Kevin Merrill, he's very athletic also. We can put him at slot, running back, wildcat. We can put him just about anywhere. And then on the edge, at the slots, we have L.J. Osama, Clayton Parlin. We like them in the slots. And then out on the edge, we have Brandon Hamilton, Still Hedger, and a kid named Hunter Gore, who's a junior, who we think is going to be pretty good.
Boy, the Plano fans, really turned out as they always do Friday night, and it's a great high school football atmosphere. But it must be quite a thrill to go out there with the kids, to go out there in front of a crowd like that.
Well, it always amazes me. Every year you think, will they come out? But they always do, and they seemed more excited the other night. I don't know what it was, but of course Lakeview didn't have that many people, and our fans they were there early, and they stayed there the whole time, and even at the end of the game they were still cheering. So it was pretty impressive, and it's something I don't take for granted. It's a privilege and honor to be able to coach in Plano and have that type of crowd follow your kids, because that's what it's all about. It's about the players getting the recognition they deserve.
All right, Coach McCullough, let's take a look at a few of these highlights here. Take it away.
Okay, that's a really good job by our offensive line, and of course that's our junior running back, Kevin Merrill, number 19. Very explosive, but really if you noticed up front, it all starts in the offensive line. Real good block there by Andrew Flory. Real key, critical block. He probably got a Wildcat paw for that. And then Kevin Merrill goes fast, hard, and he finishes the run, and wish he'd have gotten that end zone, but other than that, we're very pleased with that.
Here's the block punt by Ben Lowers. A huge play.
You know, he blocked 4 kicks last year. Number 35, Ben Lowers, all-district middle linebacker for us, leading tackler on the team. Did a great job of blocking it and then taking the punt in and scoring. Here's Connor Michelson on the straight drop back.
Vertical passing game was big again for the Wildcats the other night, wasn't it?
That's Brandon Hamilton, sure was. He had, I don't know why, it's just that's something that we really kind of like. We used to run tight end load. Now we're real good at the vertical passing game. Brandon Hamilton had over 150 yards receiving, and we're really glad to see him have a breakout night. Here's Colin Brents, captain of our football team, 3-year starter, making a big catch. Your son, leader of our team, he made a big catch and got a good return. Here's Blair Burns, number 3, plays corner. Very explosive kid, good return for us.
Another big game in the kicking game Friday night for the Wildcats.
This is the black kid for Davion Black for Lakeview, making a good tackle on him. That looked like Taylor May over there, one of our defensive tackles, making the play on him. And this is just a beautiful play right here. Once again, our vertical. Connor did a good job of finding Parlin across the middle.
All right, Coach, we're getting ready to go into week number 2. Irving MacArthur, who knocked the Wildcats off last year in the first game of the season. They have some very highly touted players that have already committed to some major schools, and sounds like they're going to be quite an opponent.
Oh yeah, they're very well coached. They're very disciplined, but more than that, they're very talented. They have the running back number 2 from last year. He's already committed to Oklahoma State. Fremprong number 3. They've moved him from quarterback to running back, and so now they've got a 2-prong attack. And so yeah, they're very talented on defense. They've got a cornerback number 21 that's already committed to Notre Dame. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, and the thing about them is they're so talented, but they're so disciplined, and they're very good at what they do, and we're going to have to be very sound, and we're going to, quite frankly, if we make the mistakes that we did last week, first of all, we're not going to make those mistakes. We've got to hold on to the ball. We've got to do great in the kicking game again, and we've got to play a consistent 48 minutes if we're going to expect to win Friday night.
You know, your team, your offense, your defense, your special teams, in practice, do you pretty much, is it 33%, 33%, 33%? How do you handle the offense, the defense, and the kicking game in practice as far as just preparation?
Well, everything's scheduled. So before we go out there, we know exactly how many periods we're going to work offense. Usually we'll go 4 periods defense, 4 periods offense, and every day we're going to go probably 3 periods special teams. We'll usually go specialty when we come out, and then we'll pick 2 periods during the day that we're going to work solely on special teams. Like yesterday, for example, we worked on punt, PAT, and field goal.
Okay, so all right, this week, Irving MacArthur, Clark Stadium, 7:30 Friday night, and come on out, and we'll